Hello, dear audience, and today, discussing the topic of gas or electric stove, we will present you our work and research. So, most of us consider the kitchen the heart of the home, but we rarely think about the impact of how we cook our food. Today, I want to discuss a critical choice every household faces: the gas stove versus the electric stove, and why this choice matters for both our health and our planet. The problem is that gas stoves are silent pollutants. While they may seem efficient, they emit a cocktail of harmful chemicals into our living spaces, including nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, benzene, and formaldehyde. Perhaps the most concerning is that these stoves leak methane, a potent greenhouse gas, even when they are turned completely off. We aren't just breathing this in, they are actively degrading the air quality inside the places we should feel the safest. If we come to relevance, a widespread concern is that this isn't a niche issue. In the United States alone, approximately 40 million households, more than 30% of all homes, rely on gas for cooking. Because of this massive scale, the cumulative effect of these individual appliances becomes a significant public health and environmental burden that affects millions of families every day. And the environmental effects of this problem is like when we look at the bigger picture, the environmental impact is staggering. Methane is a powerful climate change accelerator, far more effective than at trapping heat than carbon dioxide. To put the scale into perspective, the collective emissions from gas stoves in the US have the same atmospheric impact as the carbon dioxide produced by about 500,000 gasoline-powered cars. This contributes directly to the global climate crisis, fueling heat waves, extreme storms, and crop losses.
Next, moreover, gas stoves have and health effects too. As you can see in the figure 3, there are some health effects of gas stoves on human's body, and I will mention them shortly. So, gas stoves can increase the risk of developing chronic and lung diseases, asthma, impacts on the immune system, and can lead to some cancers. Now, if we will talk about detailed explanation of our solution is uh, instead of gas stoves, use electric stoves powered by renewable energy. As a renewable energy source, we'll use solar panels and we'll connect solar panels to our electric stoves. It's very beneficial because electric cooking can integrate with solar panels, creating a true sustainable cooking experience. Solar panels harness the abundant energy of the sun to generate electricity, offering a clean and renewable alternative to fossil fuels.
Now coming to application of science in providing the solution. From chemistry's perspective, this reaction is exothermic because combustion reaction consisting of methane, oxygen, and then creating carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, releases energy and it is transferred to heat. If combustion is incomplete, it forms toxic carbon monoxide gas, which is 2CO, and it is very toxic for our atmosphere. Burning methane requires breaking CH, carbon, and hydrogen, and oxygen-oxygen bonds while forming carbon-oxygen bonds which releases a large amount of energy. This high bond enthalpy is why methane is an efficient fuel, but also why it releases significant heat and greenhouse gases. Methane leakage is a big problem in this situation. Methane is a much stronger gas than CO2. Over 20 years, methane traps 80 times more heat than CO2. Even when gas stoves are off, small leaks occur from valves, pipelines, and connection. Therefore, gas stoves damage atmosphere even without active combustion. And from a physics perspective, electric stoves are have higher efficiency of 85 to 9% in comparison to uh, gas stoves with their 50 to 40% efficiency. And resistance is as force that creates the heat released towards our cooking processes. Uh, and with reactance with current and time, it creates the heat. Also, power in electric stoves it is easy to regulate for each percent, while in gas stoves it's very hard. to regulate. Cost, you can easily count it by multiplying energy to price per kilowatt per hours. And also Ohm's law is very applicable because it allows us to calculate the voltage.
Next one is the consequences of our solution. There are several consequences, however, I will mention only three main of them. First one is a gas stove emits approximately 1,640 kilograms of CO2 per year, while an electric stove emits around 470 kilograms annually, while an electric stove powered by 50% renewable energy emits only 235 kilograms per year. This shows that by using renewable energy sources, we reduce carbon dioxide emissions significantly. Next one is with using our solution, air becomes more clearer, and this leads to lower risk of asthma and other lung illnesses. And last one, uh, with our solution, homes will be more safer because no gas leaks or explosions will happen.
Um, there are several advantages of this solution. The first one is less emissions. So, as already mentioned, um, electric stoves produce far more less emissions compared to gas stoves, and because of that, we can improve our air quality. Second is less energy contribution. So, and that means that there will be higher efficiency because heat escapes from the gas stoves, and this problem is not seen in the electric stove. Third is less natural resources are used in the electric stoves compared to gas stoves, and that means that we will use and less resources and save it for our better future.
Now, from disadvantageous perspective on environmental factor, for our solution, if electricity is generated by coal in factories, for our electrical stoves, CO2 emissions will still exist because of combustion of coal. In order to manufacture electric and induction stoves, mining metals such as lithium, copper, and steel will be required, which also affects environmental factor negatively. The transition from fossil fuels to usage of renewable energy requires time, which will also affect the environmental factor and the efficiency of our solution. In order to create renewable energy, new facilities and infrastructure making it needs to be built in the future. So it will take away animals' habitats, places, and resources to build it.
And finally is our evaluation. Based on the environmental factor, using electric stoves powered by renewable energy instead of gas stoves is much more beneficial because it reduces emissions of harmful gases to the environment and improves energy efficiency. However, if the renewable energy is not used and the electricity is generated by coal, emissions will still exist while changing to renewable energy requires time, facilities, and materials to be built. And in conclusion, the transition to our solution will have small negative effects in short term, but will reduce gas emissions, coal mining, and global warming, making it practical and useful solution for the environment on the long-term time period. Thank you for